Hello Bakundas, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, my Gaga. I hope you're fantastic. I hope you've been well. I am well. I am glad to be here. I'm so happy I've finally sat down and I'm deciding to make this video. So welcome back. If you're a past follower, welcome. If you're new, my name is Gaga Chiku and I make videos, faith-based videos, and I try to incorporate our human resources and their functions to help us work effectively in our homes and in our offices, because all these things are required of us to function perfectly, and how God truly designed us, using our resources, using our skills and then our knowledge and our experiences, and how to steward that perfectly well when we are working and trying to make our goals come to life, and when we are trying to interact with others, our employers and other colleagues, and at the same time we are at home, how we are building our families, how we are building our home life, how we are building ourselves in this holistic level and manner, but having a foundation of Jesus Christ as the rock. And that is where our faith is coming in, and that is why I came up with the word HR, at home with God. So let's learn, let's keep on trying to make ourselves better and excel in our lives, in our working spaces, and at the same time in our spiritual lives, knowing that we're doing all these things for the glory of God. And he also expects us to bear fruit in all these places. So let's come in and let's dive towards today's video and topic. And I'm basically just want to share where I have been and what has made me a bit taking time to make another video. But essentially we were launching a book. I have my best friend, who is also like my big sister, who was launching her book. The book is called We Cry Abba. And so we were, before now the launch day, we were doing all the preparation, following up on vendors, on everything that is required for the launch to be successful and to happen. And so that happened. Maybe I can insert some pics here or here of how that was. It was a beautiful day, and we talked about she talked about her journey about fatherhood and how she came about to know God as the Father. And so I will recommend everyone to get this copy. It's going for 1,000 bob, and it's in Nuria bookstores along Bazaar. Actually, it's in Bazaar building, I think first floor. Yes, for only 1,000 bob. So you guys should get it. Some of us have had father wounds, and if you haven't, God is even pointing you to His holiness as a father, and to His perfect goodness as a father. And so it's like a revelation in itself. It's a book, a revelation. It's like a book that is showing us how God Abba, God the Father, is to us and to everyone and to anyone, and He comes and heals those wounds, those questions, everything that we may be working with. So that was where I have been. It's not an excuse, I know. And then I think I've just been having my own personal life, work-life balance, which is what I want maybe to discuss in the next video or something, balancing this work and life and everything. But for today, I wanted to also, apart from that, I also wanted to share about this word that God has been like, it has come alive in my life, and it was so good. I really think it's good that I share with you, and we can sharpen our spiritual understanding and even know how to walk with God, and even how to know with other people, with our our loved ones, our colleagues, our friends, our acquaintances, everyone basically. And so the word that I read that came and struck my heart was this word that speaks of the Jesus was telling his disciples. He said, like, love your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength, right? And the second part, he said, love your neighbor as yourself. These are the most two important commandments that I give you. And so I was just like reading on it and meditating on it, and I was wondering, okay, like, does it even make sense to love God with your everything? We are so limited, right? And we are so like, it's the first thing, we are selfish. First of all, we want to gain everything for ourselves, and sometimes we are like, no, I'll do what I want, God, and yeah, later then we come back to him. But then that was not the main part that struck me, because maybe we are trying as Christians, even, and we thank God for the grace of forgiveness, because even when we fall, we come back to him and he forgives us. But the second part the second part is the one that really struck me, because it says, love your neighbor as yourself. So I was wondering, how do I love my neighbor as myself? Because maybe I'm not perfect, right? And the people around me are not perfect. And maybe sometimes someone will strike or will stab me at the back, and I don't want to talk to them anymore. I don't want to engage with them anymore. So what is the standard? Like how does God expect me to love my neighbor as myself? Because I think that standard is too high, is very high for me to love my neighbor with the same standard. And so I asked God. Plus, apart from that, right, there was also a background of, as I was growing up, I had insecurities. I was like I was a very shy and timid girl. But that was not even the issue. The issue was how I felt like others were more important. Their voices were more important, or they mattered more, and their opinion was better than mine. Why? Or maybe because of one of the things was maybe physical attributes. I felt like others had these perfect bodies, like being for real, like they had these perfect glass hour bodies, and I was always so tiny. I'm tiny, right? But that was really like some of the things that I found, like others were better, others were more beautiful, others were more desirable. And so slowly I will like pull myself back. I will not speak, I will not be vocal, I will not be as vocal as I should. I will not like fight for my own voice or the things that were important to me. I was so, oh my God. But yeah, you can imagine, you can sense, you can try to picture, if you have insecurities, or maybe if you don't, you can try to like bring yourself to in those areas or in those places that you want so much to be perfect. Actually, sometimes it's not how you maybe envision yourself, but it's how you want to be perfect in every area. That shows that there is something in your head subconsciously that does not want to face, and or does not want to acknowledge that you're just human. You're just human, and you should love yourself even when you fall short. It's not just about being perfect in your workplace, being perfect in everything that you want to do in your roles. No, sometimes we are humans, right? You are humans, and you can fall short, and you can just not be able to give yourself 100%, or in that season, or in that role. That's what I'm trying to say. And so now I was like looking I was looking back in my life, looking back into how I saw myself, into how now I am trying to speak, I'm trying to raise my voice and be confident in who I am as a person. That's now this truth that is starting to come, and God is starting to reveal this to me. Like, did I even love myself? How do I see myself? And so I asked him, like, God, like, how do I know that I'm loving myself? Well, you can love, it's not just, you can say you love yourself, but like truly you don't, in the way that God sees love. Because what is love? Love is willing the good of another, or is willing the good of yourself. So in you loving yourself, do you will the good? Does the best come out of you in how you walk, how you talk, how you treat yourself? And so I asked God, like, how do I know, for me to love my neighbor, right? How do I know that I love them as myself? What is the standard? How do I know that I love myself, so that this standard is the one that I will use to love my neighbor? And I sat there and I listened to my thoughts, I listened to my heart, and the thing that came and struck me was so beautiful, because he spoke to me and he said, you love yourself by accepting the love I have given you. Yes. You love yourself by accepting the love I have given you. Many of us, we have been walking like we are not loved. We have been walking like we are with limps, We have been walking like we are shortchanged, like we are not enough, like others are more important, like others have more accolades, so they are more, their voices are more, they matter more, their opinions are more valued than our opinions, or sometimes if it is the other way around, you don't want people to put you into this category, like you're not perfect. And so that shows like you're walking with them and with the pride that you're perfect, but in real sense you're not accepting the love of God, that he loves you as you are. And that was so mind-blowing and so like a light bulb moment for me, because all this time I think I felt like if you had all this pampering, or the social standard of beauty that you had was 100%, that means then you are loved, you are perfect, and God loved you perfectly. That's why he gave you that body, that's why he gave you that, that maybe big career, that's why he gave you that blessed, big, beautiful marriage and children. Why? Because God loved you more. What do you mean? And I found that was really it challenged me, because it shifted my perspective, it shifted my mindset, because God did not say that. That was not his definition of love. His definition of love is not about the gifts that he gives us. He perfectly loves us as we are. He perfectly, like according to Psalms 139, he says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. He perfectly paid reverence fearfully while creating you, while creating me. You know, he was mindful of this eye will be here and this eye will be here, this smile will be like this, my face will be like this. He designed me to be this small petite girl for a purpose, because that's how he saw that was his perfect will for me and for him, and all the angels were giving him glory for who he made me as I am. And it's the same perfect love he created with someone with a plus size body, or with the, you know, that disabled person. We all perfectly, we are perfectly loved. And another proof is how he sent his son Jesus Christ to die for us, with all our imperfection, with all our sins, with all our faults, with all our unfaithfulness to him. He still said, I love my children so much, and no matter how they look, how they are, as their souls as scarlet as they are, I will still send my perfect son to die for them. And that was the standard. That was the standard that Jesus was revealing to me. Like, that is how he loved me. Like, he was obsessed with me. And the same way he was, because why he says he is, we can say, you formed me in my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. When I was being made in secret, Psalms 139:15, when I was being made in secret, fashioned as in the depths of the earth, your eyes foresaw my actions. In your book all were written down, my days were shut before one came to be. How precious are your designs, O God, how vast the sum of them. How precious are your designs. This is another version is how vast are your thoughts, O God. How vast the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the suns. To finish, I will need eternity. Like, that is how obsessed God is, just the way you are. And so, like, I needed to know this is how insanely loved I was. And if I accepted that, if I accepted how precious I was, how I was chosen, how he called me a royal priesthood, a holy nation, like, I should then treat myself better. I should walk with my chin up. I should speak my mind without being intimidated. I should air my voice. I should walk like I matter, not others matter more than I. I should walk with the confidence that I got backing, you know. I got backing because my Father, Abba, Father, cry Abba, Abba. He is for me, and he's watching for me, and he's weirdly, like, it's weird and it is beautiful how big he loves me, how big he loves us all. And that should lead me to make better choices in life. That should lead me to make better relationship and friendships choices. How I carry myself, whatever I eat in my body, do I eat and do I build my body the same as I am, as a person loved, as I cherish this body that God made me. He was very categorically designing me and fearfully and wonderfully making me. Did I make the right decisions on the decisions and the choices that I made? Like, it should change us. It should really change us, and it should how we walk, how our confidence, the decisions that we make. Are we just drinking ourselves and wiping ourselves out in alcohol, in drugs, in these things? Are we just breaking all these other commandments and walking in ways that hurt God, you know? sleeping with people here and there, like we do not even, like, we are not sacred, we do not care about ourselves and our bodies and who God says we are. That should be our challenge, because once we accept this love, once we accept who we are, then I will respect you, I will respect my neighbor, I will respect my parents, I will even if they were wrong, even if they wronged me, even if that ex of mine wronged me, I would love them with the same dignity of a person created by God, of being an image bearer of God. I will respect them and still not tarnish their name or like sabotage them, my friends, my acquaintances, or those who do me wrong. How was my standard of love? And God here is challenging us, like, do we really understand this verse, the way that He calls us? Do we really love ourselves in that standard? It's not just about beautiful designer clothes and bags and shoes and party after party. No, that is not loving ourselves. That is the wrong cultural way of showing that we love ourselves. But loving ourselves starts with knowing who we are, the foundation God created us from the word go. He said we are perfectly made, and He said when He created the man the seventh day, He said this is very good. He emphasized that this is very good. And so, are you carrying yourself with that same love that God has given you? It is time that we challenge ourselves and we ask God to give us the grace, to see ourselves as He sees us, to see ourselves as who He has called us to be. Because once we know that, then it will be so easy to love our neighbor. There will be no jealousy, there will be no comparison, there will be no fighting over things. The world will be such a beautiful place, a peaceful place. And maybe we are being called to do that right now. As the world is, the wars in different nations, we are being called to spread love. But you cannot spread love if you don't know how to love yourself, or if it's the wrong kind of love and perspective that you think that you love yourself. And once we know how to love yourself, it's like God is here and then He's telling us He is the love and how he wants us to love Him. Then He calls us to love ourselves. Then He calls us to love our neighbor. So us being here, once like we understand this value, this love that He has given us, accepting and loving, accepting it and using it, carrying ourselves with that standard of how He loves us, then we will most definitely love Him with all our minds, with all our hearts, because we are cherishing this gift, and we are just in awe of how much He loves us. It will even send us to tears, because that will be like our purpose in life, to love God with all our hearts, with all our minds, with all our strength. And how is that done? By simply obeying and loving Him, simply obeying His commandments. That is how we love God. He even says in His word, if you love me, you'll follow my commandments. So this is our challenge to us. And if you follow His commandments, then definitely you trust in His love. He will never, no matter your season, you should understand He will never leave you, never forsake you, He will never abandon you. He is always there with you, watching you, even if you're feeling like you are in the most dark season ever. God is there with you, and your victory is coming. Your breakthrough is coming. It is every suffering has a purpose. And if you understand that, then you will pay the same respect and love to our neighbor. And so I think I've talked a lot, and we have a lot to keep on digesting. So every time maybe I can leave this as a parting shot. Like every time you second guess yourself, every time that thought comes, like, oh my God, does my voice even matter? Do they even care? Should I even speak? Go ahead and speak. Remind yourself of who you are. You're a child of the highmost God who loves you with everything. Even like, get a ring. I have rings that for me, most of them, like, they symbolize something, like, so that I am always reminded, like, I have a tattoo, like, yeah, it says Jesus, because for me it is speaking to my heart, like, Jesus is my Savior, Jesus is my Lord, and maybe something will keep on reminding me who I am, and I will walk with the confidence of who God has made me to be, because I matter, because I am qualified, because I'm a child of God, and that is who you are, and that is who we should be. If we love ourselves, we will love our families, our spouses, our children. We will work in togetherness. We will teach our children this love of God. We will love our colleagues with the same beauty, this beautiful love. So that is it for today. I pray that this video lifts you up, challenges you to go ahead and love yourself. Choose to love yourself, because those are the two most important commandments God has given us. And with that, I will leave you guys. May you have a fantastic week, a fantastic day or night, and I will see you in the next when we can speak something else that God leads me. So with that, I see you guys. Thank you so much. Subscribe and leave your comments. How did you realize that God loves you, or when did you realize that you truly love yourself? Maybe those should be like our question we should ask ourselves. Yeah, love you guys. See you in the next. Bye.